Hello, this is Mt.Olive from ESPN Sports Center, and we are here with famous stars of the 1920s. We're going to be conducting 4 interviews today. First off, we have Jack Dempsey, famous boxer. How are you, Jack?
Doing pretty good, sir. How about you?
So, Jack, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from? How did you get here?
Well, I was born in Manassas, Colorado on June 24th, 1895. I'm one of 9 children, and I grew up on a farm.
So, what are you famous for?
Well, I'm a world heavyweight champion in boxing, and yeah.
And then what are some of the obstacles that you've had to go through in order to get where you are today beyond Sports Center?
Well, I grew up in great poverty. After the 6th grade, I had to drop out of school because my parents needed me to help out on the farms, so I really didn't have that great of an education. At the age of 19, I left home to try to find a better life for myself, and I spent many nights out alone in the outdoors, sleeping under trees and stuff like that. So I really started out from the bottom, and had to work really hard to get where I am today.
And then, after working so hard, what are some of your biggest accomplishments?
Well, I've won several, like I said before, several heavyweight championships. I beat people such as George Carpenter, Gene Tunney, and Jesse Willard. And I've earned a great deal of money, over $3 million so far in my career. So.
And then, do you have any goals for what you're going to do after you retire from boxing?
Well, I'd like to help out the community by helping young athletes who are in similar situations like myself and just give them the experience that I had so that they could live a better life eventually.
And then, so, thank you very much for being on the show, Jack.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks for being on. Our next star athlete is baseball player Babe Ruth. Hello, Babe.
Hey, hold on a second. I thought.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Hurry up. You want one more?
No, shoot.
Okay. So, to start off, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from?
I was born in Baltimore. My parents owned a tavern. I abandoned at age 12. Orphanage. I played baseball there, so.
I see. So, besides being a baseball player, what are some of the things you're famous for?
Well, besides baseball, I really speak at orphanages, try to cheer them up because I myself was pretty much an orphan, and I currently am advertising Liberty Bonds for the war.
Cool. So you're patriotic, man. What are some of the obstacles you've had to overcome in order to get where you are today?
Well, I had to get over that whole orphan crap and stuff that I was, the fact that, I was alone, my parents never saw me. But then, I made a varsity baseball at the school, and look where I am now.
Rich, what are some of your biggest accomplishments?
Well, I've hit, a lot of home runs so far. A lot of my managers say that I could reach 700 home runs by the time I'm in my career. They also said that my batting average could be like 354.
That would be really good. And then what are your goals after baseball?
Well, my goals after baseball, I would really love to manage a team, specifically the Yankees, because I've done so much for them.
They're the Yankees.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. And then, how have you benefited the people around you? You mentioned orphanage. Could you tell us a little bit more about that?
Well, I've adopted 2 kids myself, really sweet kids, and I just really don't want orphans to grow up without parents, so, maybe I'll start an orphanage here or there. I'm giving a lot of money to orphanages, and maybe they can play baseball, so I'll start a little Babe Ruth league.
It's a great idea, Babe. You seem like a very generous man.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much for being on the show.
Thanks for the hot dog.
Yeah. Okay. Our next athlete will be Jim Thorpe, who is a world-class runner and football player, but he will join us after this commercial break.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Thank you for rejoining us. I'm Matt Deptula, and we're here at Sports Center with Jim Thorpe, an All-American All-Star in almost every sport. So, Jim, tell us about yourself.
Well, I grew up in Prague, Oklahoma, and my dad was married to 5 wives, and he had 19 children.
Wow, so you had a lot of brothers and sisters growing up.
Oh yeah, it was hard to keep in touch.
What are you famous for?
Well, I play football, baseball, and I run track.
So what are some of the obstacles that you had to overcome in order to be good at all these?
Hurdles. That was a
No,
joke.
seriously.
Well, my education, that was pretty hard because I varsited in 9 sports in college, so it was pretty hard to have an education, a good one.
I see. And what are some of your biggest accomplishments?
Well, I basically sort of started the NFL. People watched me, and that's what made pro football big.
I see. And then what are your goals after you retire from sports?
Maybe coach minor league.
Baseball?
Maybe.
I see. So you could basically do almost anything you wanted
Yeah.
to. And then how have you benefited the people?
Well, people look up to me. I'm like their idol. And I make people happy.
Okay. So I hope you continue to be good at what you're doing.
Thank you.
Okay. We're going to take another short commercial break, and when we come back, we'll be joined by Helen Willis. Welcome back to Sports Center. I'm Mt.Olive, and I'm here with Helen Willis, all-star female tennis player. So, Helen, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I grew up in California, and I was not always in the best condition, so I concentrated on my grades.
What are you famous for?
Well, I played tennis in the match of the century, but I lost.
I see. And what are some of the obstacles you've had to overcome in order to get where you are today?
Well, I've had very weak health in the past years, and my father was away in World War I, so I couldn't really practice tennis.
And what are some of your biggest accomplishments?
Well, I'm the first real tennis athlete, and I won 15 Grand Slams and an Olympic gold medal.
And what are your goals for later on in life?
I wish to become a famous painter and help children by installing tennis courts all around the world.
I see. Thank you for joining us on Sports Center. We had a bunch of great interviews today. I'm Matt Deptula. See you next week. End it.
19, player from the Baltimore.
Wait a freaking. This is Matt Deptula at Sports Center. Thank you for rejoining us. Now we're here with Helen Willis, all-star female women's. I can't do it. Do it again. Oh, fail. Dude.